Good morning, everyone. So I had some remarks that I was prepared to give this morning, and I sat down to look in my email to find a few data points to share with you. And when I did that, I found an email that caused me to throw out all the comments that I had and to start over. And here's what the email was. It was May 3rd, 2018, and that was the day that Roland McElroy sent an email to me asking me to work on the Capital Campaign Committee. And that email read exactly the way you would expect it to read, but the thing that struck me was what I did with that email. I forwarded it to my wife, Emily, who isn't here today, so I can talk about all this, and I said to her something that you would only say to your spouse. Except now I'm going to tell all of you what I said. I said, oh my gosh, what a time for a capital campaign. And I didn't mean that in the nicest way. Because if you go back in time to May of 2018, what was going on in our church? We had no senior pastor. Our associate pastor, who had been here for 16 years, had announced her resignation. Our music minister, who had been here almost as long, had announced her resignation. Our youth leader was leaving to go to seminary. It was a dark time in our church. We didn't know what was coming. And so I expressed that to my wife. And I'm sure that I expressed it to Roland, probably not quite in as stark terms as I did in my email to Emily. But Roland said what I'm sure, I don't remember this conversation, but I'm sure that this is what Roland said. We have been through worse times before. God is in this with us. Have some faith, and we will make this happen. And so I signed on to work on the Capital Campaign Committee, and other things have happened since then, too. What has happened? Look at our staff that we have now. We have an amazing staff. People who were here before, people who are new. We have new energy in our church. Look around us this morning at the crowd that we have here. Look at what we had on Easter Sunday, 2 packed services. We had a jazz service that was packed out into the narthex. We have holy happy hours that we've never had before where dozens of people are coming into our congregation on Wednesday nights. Yesterday, I spent part of the day at the Flower Mart at the National Cathedral, where we had 8 children from our church performing puppet shows for what could have been hundreds of people, for all I could tell, at the National Cathedral. We are living into our calling to be a rock of stability, of hospitality and love in a world where the foundations of our society seem to be just shaking all the time. We have an important mission, and we're living into it, and we should be proud of that. Now, what about the Capital Campaign? In the last couple of months that this campaign has been going, this church has already committed north of $4.5 million to the Capital Campaign. And that is something to celebrate. We have a month left, and we still haven't obviously reached our target of $7 million, but Roland has faith that we're going to get there. And guess what? I do too. So let's not... Roland was right before, and let's have him batting 1,000 after the next month. So please, if you have not turned in your pledge card, and as Presbyterians, many of us are waiting to the last minute, we understand that, please fill it out. Please be as generous as you can, because whether we succeed or not in this capital campaign will determine what we can do going forward into the future to continue living into that mission that we have at this time. So thank you, and have a good morning.